Bonjour.
Welcome to Gotham.
Cenobites.
Do you know what Nemesis means?
Be my victim.
Amateurs. But still, we will afford them an experience beyond the limits in your name.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to another video. This is Gotham Cenobites. I'm Terry.
I'm Lindsay.
And today we are going to review the first of many Candyman, the 1992 film that I didn't find out until researching this movie that it was based on the short story, much like the Midnight Meat Train, called The Forbidden by Clive Barker. And in that, it reads a bit different, and it's about a pale, white Englishman. I mean, nothing like the movie.
Yeah.
But, so it's written and directed by Bernard Rose, and he kind of, I think with Clive's blessing, kind of took a different route completely from the short story, because we're in Chicago. And is the building Cabrini Green, or is it the area? I don't remember. Is it just the building?
I think it's just the building, Cabrini Green.
Cabrini Green. And it's housing projects in Chicago were very gang-ridden. And, I mean, the movie starts out with these two graduate students, and they're writing a thesis on urban legends.
Yep.
And because they're in the same area, they choose to focus on the local urban legend Candyman. And you can just tell right away that Helen's really doubting, non-believer.
Yes.
And she quickly finds out, she says his name, because if you say his name 5 times, he's supposed to appear behind you and kill you with his bloody stump hook. But so she says it pretty early on, like before they even go to Cabrini Green.
Yes.
And I've always, I told her, to me it's like the box in some of the later Hellraiser movies where she opened it by saying his name, and then he kind of toys with her, the rest of the way. So they go investigate Cabrini Green, and she ends up, she takes pictures of him, goes back another day. Well, she's with her assistant. She's taking all these pictures in Cabrini Green. And she ends up going back the next day by herself to get more pictures. And that's when we meet another character.
Yeah, because
Jake. But I don't think I've said it. Her assistant is Bernadette?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when she goes back by herself, she kind of gets to talking with Jake, and he kind of leads her to a bathroom across the street. And that's when she runs into the gang. Do you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, she was just investigating Cabrini Green because she spoke to somebody, and
there was a murder there.
There was a murder there. That's what I was trying
and
to...
It's very confusing of if it was Candyman or not. I mean,
yeah, because the gangs are kind of posing as Candyman.
Right, so when Jake takes her to the bathroom across the street, that's where we actually see the poser.
The gang, yeah, the poser. The fake Candyman.
So when she meets him and he kind of gives her a black eye with his pretend hook, she kind of loses her pictures. So after she gets out of the hospital and the whole lineup thing where they find the guy, that's when she's looking at her pictures because Bernadette was able to save them, and that's when she encounters Candyman the first time.
For the first time,
right.
Yeah.
And then from there on, it's just a series of she'll see Candyman, and then it's hallucination, and she wakes up and she's murdered somebody. But ultimately, she meets another lady, Anne Marie.
Yep.
And she has a baby, Anthony. And in one of those hallucinations, the baby is taken, and Anne Marie's dog is decapitated. So I don't know, she ends up at the end of the movie realizing, I'm gonna go with you, because Candyman, for some reason he just wants her to go with him and I guess be a part of it and be a part of the legend. But
yeah, that part was confusing. There's a few confusing parts in this movie for me.
Yeah, it's never really stated the significance of why.
Her specifically.
Yeah, it's very innuendo where a painting on the wall where she resembles. I don't know if they were married back in the day. We'll find out more about his actual backstory. But the woman Candyman was with, she resembles her, but it's never really stated why he needs her to go with him and be part of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so she ends up saying, "Okay, I'll do it if you give Anne Marie her baby back." And he ultimately kind of traps her and tries to welch on the deal. And he's trying, because at the end they're in this junk pile that gets set on fire. So he's trying to sacrifice her and the kid, but she ultimately breaks free and dies saving the kid, and then somehow Candyman just dies.
Yeah, another one of those confusing parts.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to take time and discuss, certain scenes or plot points that we deem, worth talking about or worth mentioning. That kind of adds to our thoughts about the overall movie. But I guess the first one that stands out for me would probably be they're at a restaurant, and that's where you meet. I don't think we talked about him yet, but Helen's cheating husband is Trevor, and he's a teacher at the university that Bernadette and Helen are
Professor.
Graduate students. They have teacher professor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of having this whole lunch or dinner, with another professor. I think it was Philip, and it was Bernadette and Helen and Trevor and Philip, and the whole. I wish I could find a video on this. I've searched high and low with YouTube, but I can't find it. But it's just so cloudy with all the cigarettes and smoke. And
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable.
like a time machine to be taken back to something like that.
Yeah, I know.
But it's during this scene where you can kind of just the small banter between Philip and his graduate students.
And you go ahead, sorry.
That's when they're like, we're gonna bury you to this guy, but he actually.
He kind of schools them, gives her a brief history on Candyman.
And it's here where we're only given any
Yeah.
inclination of any type of backstory on Candyman, and he tells them the whole story, where he was born, what happened, which.
Yeah, and this is pretty deep into the movie at this point, correct? When did you say our halfway point?
Maybe close to halfway.
Okay, so really he is not he's the topic of discussion, of course, but he's not the main character in this movie.
And he's still in this movie more
Yes.
than the Cenobites would be in the first Hellraiser.
Yeah.
But don't feel like it's his movie.
Yeah, it's definitely more Helen's.
He's just there for scare factor, but it's definitely Helen's movie from start to finish.
Yeah.
But it's the story. Of Candyman. It's never really explained kind of why he exists. It's kind of like, to me, the whole Crow vibes, where a terrible thing was done to this man, completely innocent, unnecessary. So his essence or spirit stayed behind, I don't know, to terrorize the people.
I didn't think about it that way. Yeah. Because
But,
that was very confusing to me. Because, is he...
They never really say, is
Is
he
he a spirit? Is
here?
he... Yeah, because, there's times where, is he made of flesh? Because there's just different periods in the movie where it just... He's obviously not...
Dead.
Right.
But so it's never really stated. I think you were saying that at one point he was sleeping.
Yeah, he was laying on a table. He was sleeping. He flies through a window.
And then the way he just dies at the end.
Yeah, the way especially the way, since he dies at the end of,
Well, I mean, there's one scene is where she finds him sleeping. That he actually opens the thing, and you can see all the bees all over him, and bees in his mouth. And God, I forgot to.
Maybe it was just for optics. I don't know, just to scare the shit out of her. Because that scene.
I forgot to get the information, but Tony Todd was actually paid a certain amount of money for every bee sting, and he ended up cleaning up pretty well, if I remember correctly. But just for bee stings. But leading into that, there is one scene.
I want to mention one about Cabrini Green.
After the second supposed murder Helen does, they take her to the nut house. And she's tranked, she's drugged, she's under
a month.
For a whole month. And when they break her, sit her down with the psychiatrist. Of course, he's, you're full of shit. So she looks over the mirror, alright, here he comes. And then he appears, kills the guy. And it doesn't say anything to her, just cuts her loose, and then I was telling her, just kind of whoosh, Batman's it out the fucking window. I mean, there's no communication, like, you're free, alright, and then just...
Yeah.
But, I guess another point you wanted to say, because it's from there that, it's been a month, so she goes home and finds her husband Trevor has moved in as one of his students. And you can tell, I mean, just the acting too, you can tell she's hurt, and she kind of just sits there with it for a minute, and then just say, oh fuck it, and leaves. And that's when she goes and finds Candyman, because ultimately a baby was taken, Anthony.
Yes.
And that's one of the things you...
Like, I really just am very bothered by this. This small infant, like, is gone. You're telling me this child has been taken away from his mother for over a month? How did he survive? How was he getting fed? How was he getting taken care of? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And and nobody heard this baby crying? I mean, you have to, there's...
Bee magic.
Where it looked like he was being held at is the same place that Helen was originally investigating, and it's like this empty apartment, and it's like covered and down the hall from his mother, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
It does. I mean, there is one scene.
Oh, there's murals everywhere in this room that kind of depicts Candyman's story as well.
But there's a scene where he puts his finger in the baby's mouth. I don't know if that's supposed to reference that, I have powers and this is how he's surviving. I don't know.
I didn't think about that, but that bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's the baby? Where's the baby this whole time? It's been a month?
Yeah. Well, another thing that stood out to me, another scene was after that. I don't remember what she does to get Candyman to leave her there, but she goes over to his lair and there's all kinds of hooks. So she grabs a hook.
Oh, yeah.
She hears the baby out in the garbage pile that the neighborhood's been throwing shit in. They're going to have a bonfire. And she starts climbing the thing because she can hear the baby crying inside. So she's climbing it, and then little Jake walks over to the window. And I'm talking about it's a football field away from where Jake is. And he sees the hook. And just, oh, Candyman. That's when they go out and they set the damn thing on fire.
Kid has killer vision.
She finds the kid, and that's when Candyman is trying to hold her. And that's what happens ultimately at the end, where she gets away and she crawls out burning, and her hair is on fire, saves the baby.
Thank goodness.
Like, the whole neighborhood was against her, but after that happened...
Seeing that, she saved the baby.
And they end up going to her funeral, and Jake throws the hook in.
Yeah.
And then my favorite scene in the whole movie is at the end where does it really make sense? But her husband's pretty grief-stricken, and he ends up accidentally saying Helen's name in the mirror 5 times. And when he turns the lights off, she appears with the hook that Jake threw in her coffin, and she
kills him.
And gets revenge. And then in some of the other scenes where she wakes up with dog's blood all over her, and she grabs a butcher knife, and that's when...
Yeah, like he set her up in a way to be...
So just seeing that, okay, you definitely killed the dog and took the baby, and then later on, when her friend Bernadette actually comes in and gets killed, she's with a knife.
I know, he kills the poor assistant, but I mean, I guess she was with her when they were saying his name.
Well,
so maybe
Helen
he
said it 5 times. Witnesses.
Yeah.
So she was always
they said it together,
so at
but
the
Helen
end,
finished it.
But yeah, at the end, where after Trevor dies, the girl he was sleeping with actually was holding a knife. So I like to think that she's gonna get set up for Trevor.
Yeah, young and dumb.
Is there anything else you wanted to? I mean, Tony Todd. I mean,
yeah, let's definitely talk about Tony Todd. I mean,
he was great, and I mean, just hearing his voice. I mean,
he's got an amazing voice, great vocals. I mean, he, for as little as he was in this movie, he really stood out. I mean,
I thought the acting in general was great.
Yeah, everybody. The acting was really great. Everybody did a really great job. The only flop, is probably the young college girl that was cheating with Trevor.
So I mean, I think he did overall. The guy who directed this, a good job at adapting it to something that
he looks really cool too. The design and the
definitely. I mean, definitely looks better than the picture I probably already put up here of that short story. I don't know. It took some great thinking and writing on his part too. I mean, I don't know how involved him and Clive were together with the design of this overall, but they kind of laid out a plan that was definitely highlighted more in the next movie, definitely of his backstory.
Yeah.
But I was telling you earlier, somehow we end up in Louisiana. But overall, I mean, Candyman, Tony Todd was great. A lot of the actors were great. I was telling her that you could just see it on Trevor's face the entire time, that he was able to project that he was, cheating. But yeah, acting was great. I mean, so what would you rate this movie?
Out of what?
I think we did 5 for Hellraiser.
Okay. I'm gonna say a 3. I would probably watch this movie again. It's not. There's some issues I have with it. I found a little confusing, but it's something that I would definitely watch again.
I'm definitely gonna agree. It's a 3, and the reason I say that is, I mean, Tony Todd was great, and it's a good introduction to who this character is. But I don't know if the movie technically knows what it wants to be. It's never really stated what Candyman is, whether it's, a crow or a spirit or whatever he is.
That was confusing.
And then why he needs her so much.
Yeah, his obsession with her and
continue on and make them fear me and make them fear again. But because ultimately, the way she kind of deceives him at the end and saves the kid, they end up, I don't know, there's a mural of her that appears in his lair, and I got a feeling that the people are, I don't know, talking about the good shit that she did and not really necessarily Candyman. So I don't know, he obviously failed in that aspect of they need to fear me again, which,
yeah, I guess his whole story plot line, I hope we didn't already say this, is I thought that was kind of confusing of why
didn't know what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
And from what I can remember, I mean, Candyman 2 definitely does a better job with that.
Okay, good.
But we'll see soon. So this one is going to get 3 hooks. What else? It's okay.
Well, I just for him to terrorize a neighborhood where he died, the way he dies, but by the hand of who did it. I was like, don't you think you would want to target those particular individuals? Right. Like, I don't know. It just, that's a little confusing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to make it about that, but
I agree completely. But
after,
it just kind
of the rich white people.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that about a lot of movies, though. Like, why the hell people target Everyday Joe, but they can't...
Like Batman.
But they can't go after the real monsters in the world. But
like
I
Batman,
guess...
Batman beating up thugs in the streets and not Falcone. Like the corrupt business owners.
Exactly. But I don't. We won't take it there. Anyways.
All right. So Candyman 1 is in the books. I will let you know. Hopefully, we're filming this on Thursday, so I mean it's probably going to be next weekend when we can sit down and do Candyman 2. But they're all coming. I hope we get them all out in October. But I am not going to go ahead and guarantee that, especially with Spooky Empire coming for me at the end of the month.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff going on for myself as well, so things are kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, but we do appreciate you guys watching. If you like it, hit the like button, and the other ones are coming soon. And we're going to start doing more of these, after the new year. So
yeah, I think with more practice, it'll be a lot better.
Subscribe, stick around. More Candyman coming, and then more in general. But we do appreciate it. You guys have a good weekend. Be good. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
So what's up, everybody? Did you hit that subscribe button? Why not? We're giving away these 5 books. I'm about to put over my face. We're giving away all 5 of these books. The 4 of the metal books put up by me. The 5th, the Batman Who Laughs book, put up by the very kind and gracious Steve over at Casual Nerd Problems. And not only did he come in clutch with this 5th book, The Batman Who Laughs, that immediately picks up after the metal event, but he also went out and got it signed, here you see, by Scott Snyder. Big thank you to you, Steve. Thank you so much for always being there. Thank you so much for supporting me as much as you have. It is awesome that you gave up that book signed for this giveaway. So stick around, like this video, subscribe, and we're gonna go live once we hit 500 subscribers on both channels, here at Gotham Cinebites and over at Casual Nerd Problems. So subscribe to both, that way you have double the notifications whenever that video does go live. As always, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. You might as well get you all 5 of these books. So yeah, thank you so much. Stick around for that giveaway.